interior design, do not look for trends. That is the worst thing you can do to your house. I don't mind minimalism. I don't mind houses looking contemporary. They look nice, but they should not all look the same. And weird things that you can think of. That college is like a ground for weird things happening in every corner. एक कोने में जाओगे कुछ और हो रहा होगा, दूसरे कोने में जाओगे कुछ और ही हो रहा होगा.
Which of the celebrities do you think have the most beautiful homes when it comes to interiors?
I don't want to walk into a home and think this wall I've seen on Pinterest. Today, people's houses are more influenced by
what they see in other person's house.
I think people have been losing their personal style and characteristic in terms of houses.
What is one major difference between cheap clients versus a rich client? Yeah, like how an interior designer can use AI in their day-to-day life to make their life easier.
Clients will not have the access to Pinterest.
Yeah. Where do you see this interior designing industry going in the next 10 years?
I think up and only up.
Thank you so much for joining today at Just Because, and today we are going to talk about A to Z of interior designing. And today we have Gauri Goyal with us, and she has her own company, Paper Floors, since the past 6 years. And let's begin. So Gauri, tell us, from where did you get this idea of being an interior designer, or like how and why interior designing?
So why, I can give you a very good answer for that. So I always, पढ़ाई लिखाई में मज़े तो आते नहीं थे, ठीक है, नंबर आ जाते थे but मज़े नहीं आते थे. And I always wanted to do something creative. I always had that creative ache in me, that creatively bent mindset. So I wanted to do some sort of a designing, but then I also thought about going into fashion wala direction. But then I was a little bit skeptical as to where and what will happen. And I had already been, since years I had been seeing Mama take care of the house, like decorating it very beautifully. Kabhi kuch, kabhi kuch, kabhi kuch. So I always had that bent towards like beautifully designing homes, not designing decor, like doing beautiful decor at that time at least. And eventually that, transpired into me picking up the field and making cute homes, beautiful homes that make people feel at peace when they're at home. Surprisingly got into SRCC through a dance quota, but then I still did not go. I was very clear in my head that I do not have to pursue like studies per se any forward, and I wanted to just jump into a professional designing field and just kickstart everything from there.
So we know that Gauri did her graduation from Pearl Academy. So how is Pearl as a design college? And
beautiful. I know there are a lot of preconceptions of Pearl being very. It is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't hide the fact that it's very progressive. Not progressive, I would say. Like
I'm a Pearlite.
Yeah, she's a Pearlite too. So, it's not very study oriented college. It has its knickknacks and it has its quirks, but that is what makes studying Pearl actually so nice. You get a lot of exposure. So from schooling to when I shifted to college personally, there was this 360-degree change of mindset. I would say you have a very limited mindset in school, and if you go ahead and pursue the same thing in like DU college, if you go to a DU college or an IP college, sorry, I'll just put that on silent. So if you do that, then you don't get that sort of an exposure because they're not very like-minded people there. So with Pearl, what happened was the exposure was like a blast of fresh air. It was immense. And then there are a lot of different things that you get to experience in that college.
Because I think Pearl has students from all over India, Punjab.
All over India is there, and then again, creatively bent people doing the most weird things that you can think of. That college is like a ground for weird things happening in every corner. एक कोने में जाओगे कुछ और हो रहा होगा, दूसरे कोने में जाओगे कुछ और ही हो रहा होगा.
So tell me, like, if you enter a space, no matter it's an office or a home, what are the design elements or some materials you see and you absolutely know that the person has good taste?
I would say natural materials. The more natural materials they've used, the better it is for me or for anybody, I think. Then the second would be natural light. Do not block natural lights in your homes, please. The minute you do that, your house starts to look dingy, it does not look warm, and if there's no light, you have to turn on the lights, and then you cannot always maintain the ambient lighting of the room, so it's always off. And then I think green natural plants, I specify natural plants, please do not use artificial plants in your homes. And yeah, I think that is that.
So I've also read that natural plants are very good for Vastu reasons also, and you being in an interior designer field, like are people very finicky about Vastu? Like, what's the scenario in that case?
I think there people दोनों type के people हैं. There are people, in fact, you would think कि अब जैसे we've been in this modern age, we're in this modern age, people would have you know, thinking less about Vastu or believing less in Vastu. It is not that. In fact, in the past a year or two, I've been seeing more people getting inclined towards Vastu. For that matter, I haven't studied Vastu personally, and I don't want to study it also because it affects with your design sense. So if I know that this thing should go here design wise, layouting wise, space planning wise, but it doesn't justify Vastu, so then it hinders with my design practice. So I would rather like have a Vastu person on board if a client wants or requires one, instead of me doing it so that the entire thing gets changed.
So, like, if a young person who's just pursuing interior designing as a career, so what do you suggest? Should they learn Vastu, or like, what is the scope?
I think it's a very, so the scope is there. People come in, they want Vastu people on board. A lot of them want Vastu people on board, and I think you should know the basics. If you're working for an Indian society, you should know just the basics. कि kitchen कहाँ जाना चाहिए, आपका washroom कहाँ जाना चाहिए. All of those are basics, but if you want to go more in depth to it, I think it's a very personal preference. And yeah, you can. I have interior designing friends who have studied Vastu as well. So yeah, it's like a very personal preference, I would say.
And where do you see like this interior designing industry going in the next 10 years?
I think up and only up, because if the budget is low, if the budget is high, it does not matter. I've like designed houses for every budget, and anybody who's buying a house, it can be a flat, it can be anything. If anybody is even renovating their houses, people want to have interior designers on board, because again, Delhi culture, अगर आप कहीं पे जाते हो, आप देखते हो कि the houses are well designed, and then you come back to your house and it's not as beautiful. You start imagining, when I buy a house, I'll get it designed by this and this person. So yeah, I am an interior designer, but I have this vision of, if I have like a very beautiful house, I'll get it designed by this X person.
So like, who are your favorite interior designers currently?
There's a long list. Surprisingly, there's a long list. But all of them are again maximalist designers, and they are very culturally bent. And okay, so let's start the list. There's Beyond Designs by Sachin Gupta, Neha Gupta. There's Shabnam Gupta, beautiful work. She's designed Irfan Khan's house, which I love. And then there is Vinita Chaitanya, the detailing that she works in, the entrances where she works at, marble finishes, brass works, beautiful. Then there is Renaissance Architects, there's Atre Associates doing beautiful modern works, modern contemporary designing, but still they are timeless. Those houses will not get out of trend very soon.
So as you mentioned in Irfan Khan, Which of the celebrities do you think have the most beautiful homes when it comes to interiors in India?
One, I would say Irfan Khan. I loved it. The issue came out. AD issue came back. I think long back. I don't even remember what year. I don't remember if I started studying designing at that time. It's designed by Shabnam Gupta, and it's beautiful. I mean, the walls, the ceiling, the flooring. It's raw. The flooring is all kota, if I remember correctly. It's all grey, concrete-ish vibes, and then there's blue everywhere. And in one wall is blue, and it's a very particular kind of a blue, very beautiful blue. I think
Cobalt blue?
yeah, a cobaltish blue. And then there's like beautiful cultural elements. There's a cart, there's this brass and wooden swing hanging from the ceiling in the center. Very rooted, very like big windows, natural lights coming in. Very beautiful house, very beautiful house.
Then Irfan Khan
Irfan Khan is there. Then recently the issue came out for Sonam Kapoor's Bombay House.
Bombay House?
The Bombay House. It's beautiful. For I can understand that it's too much for.
It's very maximalist.
It's extremely maximalist. I think I would have toned it down a little if it were my home, because it's just too much on your stimulation.
I think you can't walk in that house.
You can walk in. I think I can. Just if I tone down the bedrooms a little, because again you have to sleep there, you have to wake up there, and you should feel at peace. But otherwise, it's beautiful. The elements that they've picked up. It's all brass. There are Tanjore paintings hanging on every wall. It's all all the walls are hand painted. Then there are Naga panels. I surprisingly suggested Naga panels to a client.
What are Naga panels?
They're just wooden panels from Nagaland, some ancient antique panels, very weathered down, rustic, and then you just hang them on the walls. But they look beautiful. So I suggested them to a client some 3 years back. And they were like, नहीं यार गौरी ये तो बड़ा मज़े नहीं आ रहे देख के. And then this issue came out. They gave me a call. They were like, यार लगा ही लेते सोनम कपूर के घर से पहले हमारे घर में लग जाता. I was like, you don't trust me only.
Yeah.
So that is there. Then Sunil Shetty's house. It's a beautiful, the Alibag house. It's not culturally bent, but they brought the nature in. If you bring the nature into your house.
Is it Alibag or is it Khandala?
I think it's Khandala. And you bring nature inside. It's beautiful. Big windows, green plants, lush. It looks beautiful. Again, natural materials everywhere. Yeah.
I'm recalling our last conversation where you told me that one of your professors messaged you on your alumni group that this old building in Delhi 6 was being taken down and the students can take jharokas and some old materials that can be used in their new site. So what is that scene over there? Because is the value so high or is the product so good? Like what's a
beautiful mix of both of those things. I think so. All of those things, like the old craftsmanship, you're not getting it now. Even if you are getting it, you're getting it at a very hefty price. You're not getting the same materials, you're not getting the same kind of craftsmanship, you're not getting the same kind of finish to it. So, and also it is aging.
So like free में ले जाओ?
No, you have to buy it. ये free में लेने का एक तो ना लोगों का चस्का खत्म नहीं हो रहा. So no, what happens is the पुराने दिल्ली की buildings or a lot of other old Delhi houses, they get torn down to make way for newer things in life. I wouldn't say better, but newer things in life. And yeah, they have those beautiful sandstone jharokas, limestone jharokas, beautiful chalk huts of doors. और वही फिर वो antique में करके they sell it off for like good prices.
10x?
10x, yeah, 10x तो वैसे भी हो जाएगा in value. वो कब के बने हुए होंगे. And then very beautiful carvings. You get entire like small jharokas and balconies of carved stone and carved wood. It's beautiful. People can use it as just a decor piece or maybe more. You can actually install that chocolate in your own house if you have that kind of a design.
Have you ever installed something like this in one of your clients?
I've used antique furnitures. I've used antique decors. I haven't yet used like entire jharokas or doors for now, but yeah, I look forward to doing that.
I'm assuming that since you have that taste, you must be obsessed over Sanjay Leela Bhansali obsessed. So I'm assuming ki if you are obsessed with Sanjay Leela Bhansali sets, then you must have an opinion on Sabyasachi's collection for home
It's
and
beautiful.
curtains and
Sabyasachi
wallpapers.
is, so what happens is also you can get that, there are a lot of people who want to use Sabyasachi, who wants to, a bride supposedly wants to buy a Sabyasachi lehenga. She can't afford it, but supposedly she can't afford it. But the wallpapers come in like pretty, you can find
So
pretty cheap wallpapers.
it's affordable, the Sabya wallpaper.
It's not unaffordable. There are a few collections or a few articles that gets a little hefty, but most of them are just a tad bit
So supposedly अगर मेरे को इधर का wallpaper लगवाना है Sabyasachi का, तो उसकी क्या costing होगी?
It depends on the wallpaper you choose. You can get it for 2,000 rupees a square feet. You can get a 1,500 रुपए का square foot का wallpaper. It just depends on the piece that you pick up. Wallpaper से wall covering से ज़्यादा I really love the upholstery fabrics that they do. The beautiful fabrics, printed velvets. You don't get printed like that.
They do it for sofas and sofa.
And you get very beautiful fabrics, hand embroidered, good prints, beautiful prints. वो और किसी brand ने I haven't seen any other brand offering that.
Sabyasachi was the first designer that did this.
I think so.
Then Manish Malhotra came.
Then Manish Malhotra came in, but Manish Malhotra hasn't. It's not as famous. His products are not as famous.
I saw it was just that thing all
it's
over.
like very monogramish.
Yeah,
so,
like LV.
Yeah, so you can use it on a accent piece if somebody wants to. But yeah, it doesn't. It's more of a like a tag rather than a beautification thing.
So it's like कि अगर मैंने मनीष मल्होत्रा का फॉर से वॉलपेपर लगाया हुआ है तो वो देख के पता लगेगा कि वो मनीष मल्होत्रा है बिकॉज इट हैज़ दैट मोनोग्राम्स ऑल ओवर इट बट इफ आई अगर मैं सब्यसाची का लगवा रही हूँ देन इट हैज़ द टेस्ट ऑफ इट द नीश पीपल नो कि ये सब्यसाची है बट इट्स नॉट इन योर फेस
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज देयर and it's beautiful, the color contrasts, the prints, it's very nice.
I think Sabyasachi wants to expand that whole lifestyle.
He should. Because we're not getting it anywhere else. So somebody should be there for us.
And I'm sure it was a rumor, I don't know at this point, कि he's launching his own fragrance collection. Then
yeah, even I saw a fragrance collection coming up, but then he's getting into everything.
He launched the beauty range with it.
Beauty range is there, eyewear is there, jewelry pieces are there that are out of this world. But yeah, the bags were there a long time ago.
Then he did this westernized collection with Bergdorf.
Yeah.
So it's the whole lifestyle.
It's a whole lifestyle brand. But yeah, I'm loving that he's coming into homes. It's a beautiful, beautiful.
From a general perspective of an interior designer.
From a general perspective, yeah. Very beautiful pieces. It's not just me. I think anybody who has a modern taste can also use it. Somewhere or the other to maybe pick up like a blast of color in the cushions.
Like a whole white or beige room and just the couches.
The couch is a good mustard or a good red or a wine. Looks pretty nice.
What difference do you see as an interior designer in the mindset of, say, Delhi or West India or like Gujarat or Bombay? Like, what is the different mindset of people over there as your clients?
As the clients and like the way they want to get their houses done. बहुत फ़र्क है, बहुत ज़्यादा फ़र्क है. Problem ये है कि Delhi is getting a little more influenced by Punjab, which is getting a little more influenced by Dubai, I would say. And then every design, majorly all design firms, companies, even clients, themselves, they are more bent towards modern designing, especially in the northern side of India.
But how is Delhi being influenced by Punjab?
I don't know. The people, I would say the correct word for it is shosha. वो थोड़ा सा modernity में everything is blending into modernity. Every say third, fourth house that is getting built in Delhi is pretty similar. I mean, there are the same louvers, they're the same moldings. Clients ask them from us.
The same bed ka piche ka design.
The same bed, the same walls, the same color tones, the same. I think it is the minimal culture is also a big, I would say, to do.
But right now, maximalism is.
It is just entered, and still people are still there. You know, people are still stuck with minimalism and contemporary designing. I don't mind minimalism. I don't mind contemporary. Houses looking contemporary. They look nice, but they should not all look the same. And what is happening in Delhi is people, most of them, I wouldn't say all of them, obviously, but most of them, they are like following the same path, I would say. If you want to get some, if you want a 4-poster bed at ready from from a store, furniture store, you want to pick it up, there are very less number of stores that can offer you that. And if you go to those stores, the price point is really high. So because people are not asking for it as much. So that is the problem. And if you go to west, you go to south, you go to Ahmedabad, you go to Gujarat, you go to Bombay also for that matter. Surat, Gujarat. You go to Bangalore, Pune. Beautiful designs, beautiful houses coming up, beautifully designed. They're culturally bent. They have good materials, ethical materials. They're still using wood, teak wood. They're still using CP. They're still using stones. So they're still using like not Italian stones. They're using Italian stones, but they're still using kota. They're using Indian stones.
What is kota?
It's an Indian stone that they use for mostly for floorings. And then you get to Delhi, there is mostly Italians everywhere. Satavario, Burberry Beige, Armani Brown. So it's just like an influx of in your face onyxes, backlit onyxes, and then there is people have stopped using wood. We come from a wood background. Our father deals in wood. And it's very sad to see that nobody wants to use that anymore. People are more bent towards UPVC frames, and which to me look very corporate, very, very cold. They don't look like something I would personally put in my house or in my home, not house, a home. And then, like gold metal detailings everywhere. So that is a bit, that is why it's hard for me to find clients in Delhi.
Coming to this point, you mentioned that you have a family background of timber. If supposedly that was not the scenario, and so would you still have this same mindset? Or
Yeah, because I just don't, it's not just wood that I like. I like stones, like natural stones coming out. Then I like natural fabrics. Supposedly I'd prefer linen, I'd prefer cotton, I'd prefer velvet.
So that's your like personal style.
That's my personal style. I always like to go more organic and more so evergreen. A house, a home, you're getting it made for the next 10 to 15 years, hopefully. If you use modern materials, if you use PU paints everywhere, you don't get polishes done, you get PU paints. They will come off, they will chip off, because the minute something bangs a PU door, the paint will chip off, and then you can't do anything about it. If you bang something on a wooden door, the polish will come out, but again it's wood underneath, so it won't look bad as much.
They look aged.
Yeah, it look aged. It'll look so micro concreting for that matter. It cracks. It looks more beautiful. A wooden ceiling, it cracks. It looks more beautiful. Stones, may you get that black spots. To me, it looks more beautiful. So yeah.
So tell me, like, if you enter a space, no matter it's an office or a home, what are the design elements or some materials you see and you absolutely know that the person has good taste?
I would say, okay, so I think something that is not influenced by Instagram or Pinterest. First of all, first things first. I don't want to walk into a home and think This wall I've seen on Pinterest.
It's very Pinterest coded.
It's very Pinterest coded or very Instagrammable. I think that is something on a magazine cover will not be my home. Something that you can see in every builder house, specifically builder homes, because they tend to everybody. So builders have to obviously make houses that anybody can live in, that a person walks in and majority of them they like it. So only then they can buy it, obviously. So I don't want houses to look like that. Anything that resembles a builder made home or a builder made flat or a house or an apartment is not something that would,
say that is a person has style.
Exactly.
Taste.
It's not a personal style. And I think people have been losing their personal style and characteristics in terms of houses. So earlier, if you could you enter a house and you could see that it is influenced by what a person likes. Today, people's houses are more influenced by
what they see in other person's
what
house.
they see in other person's house.
I also saw this. I actually have seen some of my friends when I visited their places that जब मैं उनके घर पे enter करती हूँ तो they have done all the kharcha in the drawing room and in the common area and the rooms are so bad, the washrooms are so bad, because I think that is just the mindset of Delhi people.
Because shosha.
So
because so your drawing room, your lobby, your foyer area, your kitchen, so all of those are semi-public areas, as we call it, in a house, right? So all of those semi-public areas are the places where people, any guest who comes over, any friend, family relative, some business partner, whoever comes in, are going to be sitting in that place, are going to be seeing that place. So people want to make it as beautiful as possible, as luxurious as possible, to look that you've invested in that house and made it look beautiful. But on the other hand, I am always the opposite. I think in fact with my clients also, I work opposite. So we first design the rooms, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the wardrobe rooms, and the balconies as well. And then we move to the living, because that is yes, you're going to be sitting in your living room, but your private space is your bedroom. So you should never compromise with that.
So like you mentioned that you've been in the industry since the past 6 years. So tell us, like, what is one major difference between a cheap clients versus a rich client? Because I think the service industry wants to know this.
I know the service industry wants to know it. The service industry knows it. And it's a very scandalous question. But okay. So what is the difference between a cheap client and an expensive client? A cheap client, you'll invest more time, more patience, more efforts, and the house will still not come as beautiful as you had planned it originally. Whereas with the expensive client, they'll just ask 2 to 3 options from you. They'll trust your vision, they'll value your time, and then they'll act accordingly. The house will come up beautifully. It's not just about the price point, it is also about the lifestyle. A person who travels, and not just travels, like sits and stand up, like sits with good circle, they again value your time more. So I have people who aisa nahi hai ki they don't have a good price point with them, but they still don't value my time, and that is what is that sucks actually, because you go in and then they make you sit, they make you wait for an hour, and they're not there outside. It's terrible. I mean, I have to go to another meeting, even if I don't have to go to another meeting, even if I just have to sit at my home and just watch Netflix. It's my time. I shouldn't be waiting for an hour for you to get there at a pre-decided time. So so that is one of the major differences, that the value and the appreciation and the trust also. So I think people with good price points, they'll come in and then they'll trust your vision, because they know how to work with good vendors. So they've selected me, they've chosen me to design their dream home because they trust in my vision. Then mindset, even if the budget, if we're working at supposedly a budget of 80 lakhs for both the houses, and the mindset is way off. So you can't help it. सेम बजट के साथ एक क्लाइंट आपको 1 घंटा वेट करा सकता है, और सेम बजट के साथ ही आई हैव हैड क्लाइंट्स जो मेरे से 10 मिनट पहले पहुंचे हुए होते हैं हमेशा, कि गौरी आ रही है, एंड they will make sure that I don't have to visit more than once in 2 weeks. They will make sure that, you know, it is there are a few things that they will take care of, there are a few things that I will take care of.
So like as you mentioned, as I can see that you have developed your personal style, you know what your style is, what is right for you, and you attract those kind of clients because you have that style. So in today's DNA, in today's age where everyone is so much looking for just inspirations, कुछ भी हो Pinterest खोल लिया, YouTube देख लिया.
I always joke with my clients that clients should not have the access to Pinterest.
Yeah, so हर चीज़ ही जब इतना ज़्यादा इंटरनेट पे अवेलेबल है, तो if I am pursuing interior designing today, how can I find my personal style? Because I think that is very lagging in this generation कि हर जगह वो इतने ज़्यादा कंटेंट से bombarded है कि उनको समझ ही नहीं आता कि उनका स्टाइल क्या है, और इसी में टाइम बर्बाद हो जाता है. तो लाइक हाउ कैन वन फोकस ऑन exploring or finding their style?
I think you first you pick up 2 or 3 sites initially. Work out every style.
But like how
And then
can you
stick
pick
to
up?
one.
Who will trust you?
I think family and friends only. But yeah, jokes apart, always everybody has like a personal style to them. Not interiors, not in interiors per se, but there's a specific way in which you like to dress. There's a specific color maybe that you like, or a, you know, vibe that you have. Some people have like a very I would say rustic vibe to them. Some people have a very luxe, always very tiptoed vibe to them. So it depends. So if so for example, I was the first 2-3 houses that I did, one was very modern. It did not come out nice. I realized then and there that this is not my calling. And then I did a contemporary house, which came out nice. And then I did like I did a house that I still design houses like that now. And then I was like, yeah, this has come out really nice. Everybody is liking it. It's something new. It's very old, but it's still new. If you can get that.
So basically, in a nutshell, to explore.
Yeah, you have to explore too. You cannot just pinpoint कि हाँ भाई मैं तो यही वाला लेके आगे चलेंगे. It doesn't happen like that. It takes a year, 2 years, maybe more.
I think in general basis also you have to explore different things to figure out what your personal style is. It can be in terms of the content you consume. It can be in terms of the places you visit. The people you follow is a very big thing, which I've realized in the past coming 1 year, that I have to follow the right people. So I think just exploring different areas in life can help one to find the personal style, because I am still figuring it out, but it has helped me to explore different areas in every segment to get some clarity. Okay, this is what I like, I can do this. पर वो 10 चीज़ें करने के बाद ही समझ आता है कि तो जब तक आप वो 10 चीज़ें नहीं करोगे आपको नहीं समझ आएगा. So one thing I was really interested in asking was that everything is AI now, slowly. So how has AI taken over your
interior design?
Yeah, like how an interior designer just can use AI in their day-to-day life to make their life easier?
See, we're not AI दो चीज़ों से वो करता है. One direction is that it helps you, not just interior design field, in everywhere, in every scenario. One is that you can pick up those tools and it can actually help you. They're very good tools for it. I don't use them yet.
Like?
But you can get your entire 3D renders done through it.
Which isn't it like any software?
It's AI. It's not a software. You can I don't even know the exact names for it, but there are a lot of new apps or maybe websites. You can just put your room into it. You can upload your 3Ds or maybe like a SketchUp model and it'll render it. beautifully.
So basically the 3D artist and the CAD
उनका
वाला
काम खत्म हो जाएगा
उनका काम
थोड़ा।
खत्म हो जाएगा थोड़ा you say.
But हाँ, easier भी हो जाएगा for them also. It's quicker. I outsource my 3D, so I can still outsource them, but they can get it done through AI and it'll be quicker. And the other option is जैसे लोगों के खत्म हो रहे काम. So I don't think कि interior designer should be afraid क्योंकि AI can't झेलो फायदा नखरास
of a general client.
of a generic client. So I think our jobs are safe, pretty much safe for now. But yes, you can get your 2Ds done, you can get your 3Ds done, you can try paint options on your walls. You can get measurements done. You can just point your camera from A to Z and it'll give you an approximate measurement. It's an iPhone as well. There are a lot of options that can help you. It's way better than it used to be. I mean, it's the work is you can get it done easier. It's easier.
So lately I've been seeing that interior designing, God knows why, I've come across a lot of interior designers, but I didn't know that they're interior designers because they are doing things in multiple fields. So like if I'm done with my interiors, so in what are the segments that I can see myself going to if I'm not?
I've studied in an interior design college. I mean, my course is that, and I have an entire batch of people coming from that learning, from that education, and I have seen people going into varied directions. I have seen people doing things that are not connected to interior design at all. They've just dropped everything and gone and done MBAs. So that doesn't. You can do anything. That is. But if we have to talk about things that you can, use interior design knowledge and then, take advantage out of them. I think one could be product designing. Beautiful. I mean, very nice niche to work in. Then furniture designing. Very nice.
Comes in the same genre?
Not pretty much the same. It's a little varied. In product comes in everything. Stationery is also a product. And then furniture is very, I mean, if you've done interior designing, furniture designing is a very good career that you can pick up. Then you can get into set designings because the entire concept is the same. You're getting a small room to work for. It's quicker money and it's very quick work also. So you keep getting fresh ideas. So you're not stagnant with the same thing. So what happens with us is a project, supposedly if it goes on for 2 years, you're just stuck with that same design, and by the end of it, it can get monotonous.
You can design 30 sets in 1 month.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like very quick changes, and it keeps it interesting. And then you can do weddings because it's again the same events. You can do because it's the same concept more or less. You're designing a space. So yeah, I think these are some of the options that a person can look at. Very good ones at that.
And like any particular design trends of 2025 you think are something we should keep an eye on?
Do not interior design. Do not look for trends. That is the worst thing you can do to your house. I've had clients जो मेरे को बोलते हैं कि और ये आजकल मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है, आजकल क्या डिज़ाइन चल रहा है वो बताओ. And then the first thing that I say is please do not get your houses made आजकल के हिसाब से, because जो ट्रेंड 2023 में आया था that might not be there in 2027, 2024 for that matter. अभी पीछे louvers आए थे. Every builder, हमने भी लगाया है.
My bathroom has.
Your bathroom has it. Initially, I also used it in a few of my sites. इतने overdone हो चुके हैं, इतने overdone हो चुके हैं. अब जिन्होंने लगवा लिए उनके लिए तो वो 15 साल तक लगे हुए हैं ना. Now you walk into any other house, it has it. So your house is not unique or not very well designed at that time then. So please stray away from trends, fads as much as possible.
This is a disclaimer.
Decor लगा लो trends के हिसाब से because you can keep changing it.
Yeah.
Put decor as per trends, do whatever, but just don't get anything fixed. Don't do anything on the ceilings, on the floors, on the walls, on the back panels, on the furniture, major big furnitures.
So basically जहाँ पे major खर्चा है वहाँ पे मत करो, trend based, timeless चीज़ करो.
Timeless, always timeless. Yeah.
So the last question of our conversation. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
I think my the best piece of advice. Hmm, I don't know. It could also be, so one of my clients, she acted like more like a mentor to me, and I had this call from one of my other clients who kept asking too much out of me. And then that client suggested me that, Gauri, do not let your clients rule over you. If you like entertain them as much as they're expecting, the expectations will only go up. So you need to bring it down, and you need to set your boundaries. And I think that has helped me a lot, because it's been easier to work, and it's been more peaceful to work, I think, with that mentality. Earlier I used to be out there.
Which Joe?
Which jao. Yeah, that is helpful.
Thank you so much, Gauri. It was lovely having you.
Thank you. It was lovely being here.
I hope you had a great time.
It was great. I loved to crib about my work.
Rant
About it. But yeah, it was lovely.
I hope the viewers gained something out of this episode, and stay tuned for the next week as we are launching new episodes every week.